Aloha, everybody. If you notice, I have a different background. I'm in the North Shore of Oahu, right outside of the historic town of Haleiwa on the farm, Lokia Farms, which is a family-owned farm. We're here visiting our grandson. We're really excited. He's going to be a year in a couple weeks. So you'll be seeing the Hawaiian background for a few weeks. And actually the third week that we're here, we're going to do a tour of the Kia farms. So we're real excited about that. But I'm Janice Wood, and this is a broadcast show for Senior Citizens Forum. And today I have Arash Ghodstinat from Computer. I'm not remembering the whole thing. I didn't write it down.
Or it's Computech, ABC Computech. We go by Computech.
Yeah. Computech, okay. And just a couple of words about myself. I'm a licensed insurance agent, and my specialty is Medicare and health insurance. For health insurance, for February 1st effective date, you have until January 31st. So even though I'm in Hawaii, I'm still working. So if you need health insurance, please contact me. For Medicare insurance, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan from January 1st to March 31st, you can change your Medicare Advantage plan one time to another Medicare Advantage plan, or you can go back to original Medicare and pick up a prescription drug plan. If not, you have to wait for the annual election period, which starts October 15th and goes to December 7th. So Arash has been my guest on my show several times. And last time we talked about scamming.
Exactly.
And it was a really interesting show. And then Arash and I had a conversation afterwards, and we said, what's the perfect place to go into would be talking about viruses. What's a virus? What is malware? What's a worm? So some of the facts I got about computer viruses is that a virus called So Big cost everyone and the company that put it out $30 billion. This is a lot of money. And then another one that's called KLEZ, it was $19.8 billion. Then something that's called, all in capital letters, all run together, I love you, is $15 billion. So this really affects productivity on the job. It affects, how does this, we're gonna ask Rosh one of the questions, how does it affect you as an individual that's watching this? Or if you happen to know people that own companies, how does this affect their businesses? And so Arash, tell us something about your experience for those that have never been with us before on our shows. So give us some information about you.
Of course. First of all, good morning, everyone. This is Arash Ghodstinat with Computech. Thank you so much, Janice. It's been a pleasure to have these shows with you. We had a very good experience, and our purpose of these shows is to teach or show as much as possible, to educate people as much as possible about these things. Let me tell a little about myself. I have been married for 15 years. I have 2 kids, Maya and Liam. Maya is 7, Liam 3.5. I've been in the computer the business for more than 23 years now. I'm getting old, I think.
Not yet.
And I have my company for more than 8 years now, and we've been focusing on managed IT services, and it's ABC Computech. We go by Computech. We have many dentists, CPAs, manufacturing companies. And now we get back to the question. Very good question, very good subject for today, especially for people using their just home computer, or they have an office, but they just set up the office computers and they don't know what's going on for the security. This is very important. First thing we're going to talk about what is virus, or how do we know? I mean, how should we worry about it? What should we do for it? These are the main thing we have to answer today. So what is virus? Virus, technically, it's exactly like virus outside, and it's been virus been there for a long time, and that's why they just came up with these antiviruses, anti-malwares, and all these tools like Symantec, ESET, McAfee, Viper, and so on, to just protect your computer for those. But the main thing I want to focus for some time today is ransomware. And ransomware is the thing that it's not a virus, it's not a worm or something like that. It's just a ransom. So what they do, these hackers or these people, they just create a code and send it to your computer through email usually, or a file. And the email might be maybe from a person that you know. They just use the name or something like that. And once you open that file that attached to that email, they encrypt or they run a back-end file. It's not a virus, so the antiviruses cannot recognize it. Recently, the new versions of antivirus tech, they come up with a smart technology that they can recognize some of the ransomwares. But what they do, they will change the extensions of all your computer files, everything, pictures, music, Windows files, everything, to something very odd. Like, for example, one of the famous one was .lock, L-O-C-K, or .lucky, or .test, something like that. Lots of the different extensions. And what they want you to do, they send an instruction. So they ask you to pay with the cryptocurrency. It's like Bitcoin or Ethereum or different cryptocurrency. They send you the exact instruction, and until you don't pay, they won't unlock your file. So technically, everything is dead. So
So
if you
that's
have
how they're making all that big money. I mean,
that's the way that they have big money, Janice. And the funny thing is, they even have a review. So people review them, that these guys, okay, I paid them and they really did that. So, and lots of them go by, honestly, they do that. I mean, that when you pay them the ransom, because they want to continue this dirty business. But the thing is, so unfortunately, lots of people don't have a correct backup or solution to protect their files, protect their environment, protect their office. They don't have a right security.
well,
And
what I'm confused, so help me along.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So if I'm talking a virus and I'm talking ransomware, we're talking two different things.
Two different things. We start from ransomware first, and then I explained a little about viruses too.
Right. So a virus, because I know I have all Apple products.
Sure.
And I've gotten viruses from the Apple products.
Yes, yes. Because Apple product, the security is different, and you're totally right. Some of the products get less. It depends on the usage. The viruses and ransomware, ransomware can happen anywhere, your Apple or your Windows. Virus, same thing. So definitely, even if you use an Apple product, you need a good antivirus for the virus. But for the ransomware, you should be educated. And I will post some stuff even in our show, or I will send
You can
some
do that now if you want, because you can share the screen with me now.
I will do that for sure. No, I don't. I will. We have some articles that I put in our LinkedIn, so I will share it in the below this video after we're done, about the phishing emails, all those things that causing these viruses and ransomwares. But for the ransomware, and either ransomware or virus, because remember, virus always come first, then the antivirus come. Coronavirus came and then the vaccine come. It's not like the vaccine comes, then the virus comes. So same thing in computer. So lots of the companies, like these companies I mentioned, Symantec, McAfee, all those, when the virus comes, they don't know the new viruses. So they're prepared for lots of things similar to the virus happened before. But what if it's totally different? So that's why you have to be prepared, not only just with the updated system you have, but with your good backup, with different solutions to protect your environment, especially for businesses and even home computers. You have lots of good pictures from your family, old pictures, lots of good music. It happened to me a long time ago before I went to this field. I was a music collector, and it just I had many music in my computer, and then one of these things happened, and the new virus went and worm actually and deleted everything. So I lost all my music.
Okay, so like right now, I'm
Sure.
like with the modern generation.
Of
Okay,
course.
I do all my banking using the computer. I take a picture of my checks. I send it to the bank. Will these viruses or this ransomware, can they affect your bank accounts?
Very good question, Janice. Technically, yes, it's more deep than that. But the thing is this. First of all, your bank account, make sure the password you use it. Lots of people use one password for everything. That's not recommended. Definitely use your different password for your bank account and something related to your, social security, all these things. It should have, unfortunately, their own passwords. There is a software called LastPass that you can save all your passwords there. It's a very good tool. It's called LastPass, and it's free. You can use the premium or free. That save all those. But definitely change those. Make sure you keep track of them. But yes, it can affect. It can get those information. It's very important to make when you connect your bank. Don't go to a coffee shop or a Starbucks and then connect to their Wi-Fi. Connect to your bank account. Don't do these things. These are not recommended. Make sure you're in the safe environment when you're connected to these computers. But yes, virus ransomware can take your username password. You should be very careful. I mean, not technically ransomware or virus take it. The hackers with the tools they sent you, and you think it's a valid tool, they can get it. So first, I'm going to prioritize it. Let's say you're using your bank account somewhere. Make sure you use it in a secure location. Your password is a secure password. You have multi-factor authentication. It means when you log in, it sends a code to the text message that you have on your cell phone or anywhere you want. And number four, the device that you're using, make sure it's clean and you're in the secure environment. And when
Okay,
I say clean, means it has a good antivirus and it's behind a good security environment.
so when I go to Starbucks, which is the most popular place around, okay, it's not a good idea to go into your bank account or your pictures using that free Wi-Fi because you don't know who's on it.
That's exactly right. And one more thing, Janice, that you brought up, if you want to go there and then you really need it, um, most of the smartphones like iPhone, Android, or different phones, they have an option called hotspot. Hotspot gives you internet from your phone, and then it's free for most of the providers like T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon. They give it to you for free. So you can connect your laptop to the hotspot of your phone without connecting to the Wi-Fi, and you are the only one that is connected to that one. So then it's a lot safer than you connect to Wi-Fi and go there. But if it's urgent and you want to check, this is a solution that I recommended. Or if you're using your phone, you can turn off the Wi-Fi and just go with your data and connect to your phone and go to the bank or something like that.
Yeah, because I know when under normal times, when I would go to someone's home or I would meet them in, let's say, a coffee shop, I actually met with Arash and his father at a Starbucks.
Actually,
Okay.
yes,
I used my personal hotspot
that's exactly
because I get confidential information
true.
from for my clients.
That's exactly right.
And
Yes,
I'm really protective of that confidential information.
that's what exactly we do, because most of the doctors we support, like dentists or doctors, they're HIPAA compliance, and it means that they have access to social security of their patients and all those information. So we have to be very secure when we connect to them. Yes. So
Now, I know when I go on some of these sites, they'll ask me if I'm a robot.
exactly. Yes.
So is that really protecting me?
The robots, Janice, yeah, it's protecting you, but the reason they put are you robot, and then when you check the checkbox, they tell you where do you see the bicycle or the car or all those things, the flashlight. So, and the reason they do that because of lots of programs, lots of programs that using that means lots of program tries to log in to those software and then act as a real person. So that's why they do these things. So if it's a software and not a real person, they catch them there. So that's the reason they do that. Yeah, for those are you a robot or is this is real? And then you have to verify that, and you can go to the next page or next process.
We go, I'm not,
Yeah.
anybody can say you're not a robot. I mean,
That's exactly right. Yeah.
so I always laugh when I get those, like, am I a
Yeah.
robot? So if somebody's new, they're going to get that if they're trying to use different sites, that they're a robot.
That is true, because yeah.
So what is the difference between a virus versus a worm? What is a worm?
Worm, actually, virus. Virus was the beginning. It came like a virus. Virus, it can be different things. It can be worm. Technically, goes under virus, malware, worm, all these things. They're different things that the viruses and the different viruses does. Like, for example, worm is exactly that's the reason they put these names. Like, worm is like a worm. They go slowly into your computers and they infect it as much as possible. So antiviruses usually catch worms, trojans, viruses. All of them are like the go under the virus category, instead of, except like ransomwares and different things. But for example, trojans, you know the movie Troy, the Trojans, it came from there because they went to that horse, and then they went inside the castle. Same thing. So they hide. These viruses hide and then go to your computer and then go slowly to your files before you see it, and then they attack. And then once you see them, it's too late. So you need to format, you need to wipe the whole thing up, so to clean it up. So that's why these names, they picked it from the real creatures or stories or history. But all of them go under virus category. So each of them has a definition, each of them has a process. And that's why it's very important, Janice. Antivirus and firewall are very important. Firewall for home, you really don't need it, but antivirus, it's very important. The next thing,
you're mentioning a firewall, so explain what a firewall is.
Of course, that's a very good point. For most offices, I mean, all offices that we service, we tell them they need to put a firewall. What is a firewall? Imagine you have a big castle. Where do you start to protect that castle? The first thing you're going to start is from the gate, the big gate that you have. You want to put electrical shock, you want to put cameras, you want to put anything you can that no one can come in. So that's the main thing. So that's firewall. So it means firewall goes to the internet level. So when the internet comes to your office, first it goes to the firewall, to that big gate. If the firewall finds a virus, something suspicious, it will kill it at that point. Then when it passes, it goes to your computer or computers. When it goes to computers, you have the antivirus. So if it passes and the firewall don't catch it, or something is not, in the high level, the antivirus will catch it. Or if it's a ransomware, the antivirus most probably, if the new antivirus and it's smart, can recognize it and stop from growing. But the main thing for these, Janice, to protect your office, protect your home computer, protect everything, is to have a very good and smart backup. And when we say smart backup, some people want to save money, say, no, I don't want to pay like $15, $20 a month. And then they lose something, and at the end they spend $2,000, $3,000, and they say, wow, I wish I did it before. So the smart backup is, you need one cloud backup, and when we say cloud backup, a secure cloud backup. And second one is one local backup, especially for home computers.
Well, dude, I know what a cloud is, but if we have somebody on here that doesn't know what a cloud is, say what a cloud, because it's not something.
Yeah,
I've got lots of.
Not those clouds behind you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cloud, the reason they use it, because it's not technically, the term is because when we say I go to the cloud from my home, it's not something that I can see it here. So it's not physically here. So cloud means, for example, Microsoft storage. Microsoft have many servers in their office, in their location data centers, that save our data in those servers, or Dropbox, Google Drive, same concept. But the way we access to those files, our files, let's say you have pictures in iCloud on your iPhone, or Google Drive, or Dropbox. Any of those save in a physical location in an office, in a data center. The way we connect through internet. So I go through iCloud, and then my connection to their servers is through internet. I receive and send files. That's why they call it cloud. Technically, it's not in your Local area means it's not in your office or home, it's in something else. That's why they call it cloud. But it's not really in the sky. It's in the physical location, either in Google data center, Microsoft, AT&T, depends on who we're using.
Okay, because I know I buy storage from Apple.
Exactly, iCloud.
And I have to picture the iCloud like a file cabinet.
That's exactly right. Yes, very good point.
So it's like filing stuff in a file cabinet. So instead, it's filed in a big computer somewhere else.
That's a big computers. Like they have thousands of computers.
Massive computer.
Imagine the old days that the doctors save everything on paper in the cabinets. One cabinet was for G and H or A and B, and then all the A and B had their folders. Same thing right now. These computers are for A's, like these 1,000 computers for A, these 1,000 for B, however they just see it. And then this portion is for AB, this portion is for A, C, something like that.
Right. Well, that's the same way the cloud.
Same way, exactly, yeah.
Okay, because I just want to make sure everybody understands.
Sure. And again, if they have any questions, Janice, they're more than welcome to call us, email us, or put it under the comment and we'll answer it.
We're not quite ready to put information up there, but we will have information on how to contact Arash and myself. Okay, if you have any information.
Of course, anytime.
We hope you need us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So my other question would be, how would somebody recognize that they have a virus?
That's a very good question too. So first of all, you have to make sure you update your computer, you have the correct antivirus again, you have a good backup and all those things in place. Especially update. If you use Windows product, you need to update them constantly. So Windows patches come out and it's very important to keep it up to date. But if you see your computer is slow, you open something, it takes time, you open a browser, your internet browser, it open, close, the weird thing that you normally don't see happens, that's the time you need to take a look at your computer in more deep, or anything you have. You have a server, computer, anything. So that's the time you have to go deep down and see what's going on in there. So it's something unusual. And that everyone can recognize it. I go to this website every day, but why it doesn't go there? Why something else open on my Windows? Why I'm trying to open this picture, it takes so long. It never did that to me. So these things worry, these are the signs that you can start with.
Yeah. So that's real important. Now I know was it Apple has me using malware? Is that
That's one of the good ones, Malware Bytes it calls. That's very famous, that Apple, Linux, and Windows, all three can be used. We use it a lot as well. It's a very good tool to find malware. And malware is very similar to Trojans, and all those things go inside the files and corrupt them. Or there are files that you don't see them, but it goes behind the scene, like in your registry or inside the lots of folders that you cannot find, they find it. And then they clean it.
Okay, so I have notes here for myself.
Okay.
So I'm turning them over. Okay, okay. So we did that. Now my other question be for cyberspace, which is what we're all in, is in cyberspace.
Right.
I don't know if you have a good explanation of cyberspace. When it comes to security, what's the future for security? How would that?
It's very important to, let's talk about the basic security. So that's why it's very, very important. Let's give it an example so to be more tangible. The security in our houses, Janice, 20, 30 years ago, how was it look like? It was, you may had an ADT like kind of thing, very big. Mainly we had many locks in our homes and all those things. Nowadays, you see a lot newer technology in your homes, like rings, ADT, Google, lots of new things come and then secure your home. You don't even need to be worried, they say, and all these things. But the new technology, first of all, there are very good things. We have Ring in our home, and that we connected to the security. It's $10 per month. You just give you the very secure things. But now, these are the concerns. What if they hack my Ring? What if someone hack my home and come to the internet, and change it? So the new as you mentioned, the new cybersecurity is going to be the new things that are out. And we want to know how we control them. There is a movie I really recommend everyone to watch it, Social Dilemma. I think I mentioned it in our last show too, Social Dilemma. It was on Netflix, and it's about the information that these big companies like Facebook, Google, Instagram, all of these, LinkedIn, all of them get about each of us. It's a very, very good show. Please look at watch it if you haven't. And it's very important because it's interesting that you open your Facebook and it gives you some stuff that you were looking yesterday, a shoes, a hat, you know, you were reading about the weather, and then you see it on your Facebook. So these information, they gather it from lots of different places, and now they have lots of information about us. They can make decisions. Same thing for the security. The biggest issue that I can see is we have all these great tools. We have our iPhone, we have our security ring, we have many, many good things. But now, how can we prevent the hackers and the people that manage it not to go in? You know, that's the main thing that we're going to have problem very soon, because a lot more people will be knowledgeable. The new generation that are 5, 6 years old, 10 years old will know a lot much more than me and my generation. And at that time, it's going to be something new going to come. I mean, and a revolution will happen soon, in about 10 to 20 years, in my opinion. Revolution in technology again. We had a revolution in 2007 and 10. Imagine 2007, right now in 2021, 14 years. iPhone came in 2007. Then imagine from then till now, Tesla, iPhone, solars. I mean, it was solar a long time ago too, but the technology I'm talking about, it was a smartphones, but the technology was a revolution. So we will have another revolution to, I think, try to fix these things that happen. So that's regarding security. It will have a not maybe revolution, but it will have an adjustment to all the new technology that we use, and we don't have control on them. So that's going to be my biggest thing, that I don't know what's going to happen to it. But as of right now, we use those tools and it works perfectly fine. But in the future, these problems will arise.
Okay. So what would you recommend? I think this is really interesting. So let me go back to that.
Sure.
I mean, another another
evolution,
paradigm shift is what I usually call it.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
So something that could have totally changed the way we do things.
Sure.
I remember when the computers took up whole rooms.
Right.
And now, I mean, when they
use your iPhone.
Now the iPhone has more. You can store more information than those huge computers in those cold rooms. Okay?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I'm talking long before we thought about them. I remember when I was, not that I'm not out in the work world now, but when I worked for the city of Los Angeles and the computers first came in, and I said, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to learn how to use this.
That is right. That's true.
I want to continue on. So, and then the smartphones and the iPads, and it's just like.
My example is fax, Janice. When fax came, I was a little boy, and then I thought it's a magic box. I didn't know how someone sent the paper from the other side, and then on this side, the paper comes out. Yeah. So even that one was very, very strange for me when I was a kid. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I remember when it was like on a roller. The paper came around on the roller.
Exactly, on the roller.
Different. Now it's wireless, okay?
Now it's like, and then imagine one day you just in the air, you move your finger and then you receive something. So
right. But you always see in these futuristic shows like a plexiglass.
That's right. Yeah. One thing I always give an example. I just don't want to go out of subject, but very interesting is lots of stars that you see at night. I love stars, so I just watch them. And lots of them don't exist, because you see the light that you see is from the past. So that shows if you have a telescope that goes all the way close, you don't see those stars. They're not existent. So it means right now we see the past, and now if we use those, you see the future. So imagine a tool come and we see our past. Exactly. Gather the data, and then we see 20 years ago, 100 years ago. These things, in my opinion, will come. eventually. So yeah.
Well, I know right now with my Apple products, I can take information from one Apple product and airdrop it into another app.
Exactly right. Yes, that is true. Yeah.
And that's like really amazing. Or I
That,
can, if I'm sitting around with other people with Apple products and they want my information, I want to send them something, I just airdrop it.
they drop. Yeah. Yeah. And
So,
you're very good in technology, Janice. I'm
so for
impressed.
my age group, yes.
Yeah.
Because I have friends that won't go anywhere near this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
we do that. But what would you recommend for, I know like Apple, I'm using malware for my viruses and stuff. Okay.
Sure.
And
Sure.
does the malware cover the ransomware also?
The products we use like Sofo, ESET, Symantec, the new version of them, if you keep them up to date, what they do, they're very smart. As I mentioned, the ransomware is not a virus. So ransomware just is a file that run behind the scene and change all the extensions, means your pictures become text. So, but once these the software like the antiviruses or the smart ones see this transaction, see all the files are changing behind your computer, they put a pause and they put a lock in the whole computer. So what happened is when it's locked, then these ransomware cannot proceed, and you can catch them at that time, bring your backup, and then fix it right away. But even if you have a ransomware, again, the good thing for all these products, then make sure you update them all the time. Update your devices, your Mac OS, if you use Mac, or your Windows updates. Those are the main keys. And then keep a good backup. Definitely keep a good backup of your
Now,
file.
what if you're using a non-Apple product?
If you use Windows, and remember one thing, when we say backup, you have an external hard drive. It's very important, those external hard drive, when you finish your backup, disconnect it. Because if you get ransomware, those ransomware goes to your external hard drive and kill those backups as well. So that's very important.
But what about like Norton and I can't
Norton right now is Symantec, McAfee. All those are the you can be used in different OS like Windows, Mac, and many more, Linux. But ESET, Viper, Symantec, McAfee, Sofo. All these are the products that we use, and we partner with some of them, and they're very good products. But as long as you monitor them and keep them up to date.
Updated. Okay. Now I'm going to go into one little area that that's not quite covered. We haven't covered. When you're using social media.
Sure.
Okay. And you're adding on a new friend. You should be really careful that you're not getting somebody that's going to get into your computer.
That is true. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's one thing. And then lots of time you're going to see your friend. That happened to me and many friends. One of your close friend comes and say, hey, how are you, Arash? How are the kids? Something like that. And then I need some money. Can you just transfer me this money? Can you do this? These things are suspicious. If they ask you these kind of questions, even your friends in your social media, just pick up the phone. If they're not close, they don't usually ask you this question. If they're close, you can text them. You can ask them, is it really you? Or ask someone that know more so they can check on them and make sure they're valid. If they're not valid, just block them right away and then call your friend and tell them you've been hacked. So change your password and all those things.
Because I know when I go into social media and I open up stuff and I see, before I select a friend, I go in and I look at what they have. And if I see something that doesn't look right to me,
you don't add them.
I don't add them. I mean, because all of a sudden because my business page, I don't need somebody out of Nigeria.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't really do.
They're not going to use what I want. I may want somebody from within the United States, but somebody who's going to use my particular product. So you've got to be really careful. And I've been noticing there's been a little bit more activity with strange stuff going on.
One thing, Janice, you brought up, I don't want to forget about it. That's very important. Just very quick, for your firewall that we talk security, especially for your offices, if you can definitely block the IP address. IP address means the traffic or the connections come from anywhere if you just have a business with United States, you can block the other countries to have access to your internet. So if they try to hack you or something, your firewall will block them. So that's some advantage that I just want to bring it up, and I forgot.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Now you brought up something. I'm going to have Lauren bring up our information and how to contact us.
Sure.
Okay. But, okay, she's got the information there. So this is how to contact us. Arash has a lot of really good information for you. If you know someone who is not a senior citizen that's watching their show and they have a business, please share this broadcast with them, because we would love to be able to work with them, especially Arash in the business area. Even I can help businesses, okay? So this is just, we love to have this information shared with others. So please remember to do that. And Arash, thank you very much. We always have more stuff than we have time to continue on.
For sure. Thank you so much, Janet. It was my pleasure. And also, I want to announce that I talked to Janice too. We have some classes pretty soon. We can have some for seniors, and Janice and I will talk, and we try to do it as much as possible educational, but we'll send you more information soon. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for
Arash is doing, because he's such a great supporter of my show here. I will definitely, and if you have classes to help seniors out,
we will, for sure.
But Arash, as I said, also will have classes, I'm making the assumption, for other areas other than seniors.
Yes, we do, definitely, yes.
Okay, so Arash, thank you very much.
My pleasure, Janice. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I wish everyone a safe and great day.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay.